Good morning! We're here at the Lawn Lake Trailhead inside the Rocky Mountain National Park. And today, we're going to go for Lawn Lake. I believe we're looking at around 6.3 miles out with a 2,400 foot elevation gain. Official start time, 5:50 in the morning. And right off the bat, there's some of that lichen that I'm liking. Although we're looking at 6.3 miles, it shouldn't be that hard of a hike. Seems like we have to do a lot of the initial elevation gain here in the first 1.4 miles up to the split. And then after that, the trail mellows out quite a bit. All right, guys, and we have made it up here to the trail junction. If you go to the left, that'll take you up to Ypsilon Lake and Spectacle Lakes. But we're gonna go to the right. We're heading up to Lawn Lake. And I can't believe I've never done this hike before. Of all the hikes I've done out here, we've never done Lawn Lake. We're always like, oh, that's like over 6 miles. We don't want to do it. That's too hard. But this trail is really not that bad. According to the map, from that trail split, we're looking at 4.8 up to the next trail split. And that's going to be where the Black Canyon Trail meets up. We're just grinding our way up this Lawn Lake Trail. We're a little over 2.5 miles into it. And we're approaching 9,600 feet. All right, I'd say we're about 1.5 hours into the hike. And we have made it up to the Cut Bank and Golden Banner campsites. I'd say we're real close to halfway. Looks like we've come up at least 3.3 miles. And we have maybe 1,200 feet left in elevation gain. So we might be just a tad further than halfway. But we're getting up there pretty quick. This isn't too bad at all. I've got my route still on my GPS from last year when I did Bighorn and Tileston, and I dropped in right here from the summit of Bighorn and then met up with the trail and took it back down. So we're getting up there. We're getting up there. Wow. And if you stand in the same place for like longer than 10 seconds, the mosquitoes find you. And then they tell all their bug friends, and then they all join in the party. We're about 5 miles into the hike. We've been hiking for 2.5 hours, and we're just about ready to break 10,500 feet. The lake is just under 11,000, so we don't have much more vertical elevation gain at all. Most of it's here in this next half mile or so. We're about ready to break 10,700, and I just swallowed a bug. I'm like 90% sure I just swallowed a bug. It went into my mouth, I felt it. Before I got too freaked out, I just took a big swig of water and swallowed it. So I think he went down with the big swig of water. And then right along here is where I split off last year to do Tileston. I think it was right there where the cairn is. That's Mummy Mountain in front of us, looking awesome. That's a 13er. I've only been on top of it one time, and that was at the tail end of the Mummy Mania hike. But I'm wanting to come back later in the summer and get that solo, or maybe combo it with Hags. I'm not sure. It looks difficult though. Looks like we're maybe 0.2 of a mile away from the Black Canyon Junction. Beautiful up here though. Out there in the distance, that's Hags on the right, and that's going to be Fairchild on the left. All right guys, and we're getting up here. We're pretty close to the lake. And in 3 hours on the nose, we have made it up here to the trail split. And if you take the hard right, that's going to take you like 9 miles back into the lumpy ridge. However, we're going to stay straight, and it looks like another 0.6 of a mile up to Lawn Lake. That shouldn't take but about 15 minutes or so. I have officially never been on this part of the trail, ever. It's a little soupy through here. We're getting just a small taste of the snow, and that's about all I want. I'm done with the snow for this year. I'm glad we're doing this now and not like last week. This might have been miserable last week. I may have been cussing through here. This is awesome up here. Wow. That's looking over at Fairchild. and then it drops down to the saddle, and then back on up to Hague's Peak. We're gonna stay to the left and continue on to Lawn Lake. All right, guys, and it is just now 9:15, which means that took us just under 3 hours and 25 minutes to get up here. Not bad at all. That's about what I was expecting, and this is awesome. We found some nice flat rocks to sit on. We're gonna have some food, enjoy this amazing view. This is like 10 times better than I expected it to be. That's looking back up at Mummy Mountain, looking gigantic right now. But then once you're up there, you can bounce it on over to Hague's pretty easily, and vice versa. If you continue on the trail, it goes right up there to the saddle, passes Crystal Lake on the way. I'm gonna do that someday, just not today. And there's actually a ranger cabin up there. That's cool. That's good. They need to have somebody posted up out here. It's about 10 o'clock right now, which means that we have been sitting up here for about 45 minutes or so. But it's time to go. It's time to head on back. And we're on the way back. I'm thinking this is going to take us about 3 hours. The good thing is, though, it should be all downhill. It's awesome up here. Loving it. Pretty epic once you get on this upper level. Got a big marmot off the trail here. This is a really pleasant trail to come down. We're flying. I mean, it's just so smooth and easy. We've already passed the spot where I cut off to bushwhack up to Tileston like 5 minutes ago. And we've only been hiking for like a little over 20 minutes. So, I mean, we're getting down this thing fast. And this isn't a highly trafficked trail either. I mean, there are a few people that are gonna hike this. We saw maybe 3 or 4 groups up at the lake, but we have not passed a single person on the trail. Oh, I take that back. We passed one. But compare this to anything up from the Bear Lake Trailhead, and oh my God, this is like desolate and remote compared to that. Out there in front of us, that's going to be the west slope of Bighorn Mountain coming down. So we're pretty close to meeting up with where I dropped in when I did that last year. And then from there down, I mean, maybe like 3 more miles. I don't know, this is real pleasant though. We're loving it. I vaguely remember coming down this part on the way down from the Mummy Mania hike. I just remember that my headlamp, well, first of all, it started getting dark on me, and then my headlamp started to flicker like the batteries were gonna die. So I started running, and not running because I want to be a jogger. It was more like running for my life because I thought something was gonna eat me. We've probably only been hiking down for about an hour and 45 minutes, and we're maybe a half a mile from the Ypsilon trail split, which means from that point on we only have 1.4 left. We haven't even been hiking down for 2 hours, and we have made it back to the Ypsilon trail split, which means we only have 1.4 miles left. I think it's possible that we could knock out this remaining 1.4 miles in about a half an hour, which means that we'd be getting done at about 12:30, and that would only have taken about 2.5 hours to get down. That's pretty fast, considering it's over 6 miles. That's gonna be Long's Peak way out there. We're heading up one of the rare uphill sections of this hike going back. It's pretty much been all downhill. Just need to go down a few more switchbacks, and then we'll be back down to the trailhead. We're so close to being done with this thing. I'm really happy about that, and I'm also happy that no one had any slips or falls or accidents or anything bad. It's actually a pretty good hike all around. All right, guys, we're back down to the Long Lake trailhead, and it's just now 12:28, which means we got down from the lake in under 2.5 hours. All right, Long Lake, got it. Boom. Nice job. Hope you enjoyed that hike. Until the next one, y'all. Peace.